Thank you, Deep Voice, for that lovely introduction. And yes, guys, I am back. And this time there is another top 10. This time we have the top 10 superpowers of my choice. It took a long time to pick these down, but now they are all in order. I'm ready to do this. I hope you're ready too. And with that being said, let's crack things down off with my top 10 superpowers. Are you ready? And if you have your own opinion on what your top 10 powers are, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, who knows, we'll see what things are up. Till then, guys, this is Lucas Green's top 10 superpowers. So guys, what do you think is my number 10? Are you ready to find out? Let's show him then.
Usually don't get the tingles when the bad guy's in plain sight. Sorry, Spidey. Was I supposed to wait my turn?
Yes, guys, I would have to go with Earth powers. Like, when I say Earth powers, if you didn't know what number 10 was, now it is, yes, it is Earth powers. But I am going with Earth powers because they're a very special and unique power to have. One of the very few powers that allows you to have construct over things. In a way, I sort of have a toss-up between who has the best Earth powers, between Sandman and Terra from Teen Titans. Only because, basically, they can do similar things, like transport. Whether or not ever you count Sandman as having the same abilities as Earth, but I count it as that because it's part of the planet and it's subterranean in my mind, so I'm going to count it anyway. But if you don't, well, oh well. So, the difference between the two of them that has they're very similar is that they can't go. Sandman is like his whole body is made of it, and your whole body could be like unarmed to bullets and stuff. Also, the fact that there's different modes of transportation you can use with it. Whether you can be like Sandman and use a sandstorm or a dirt storm to go through and transport through the city, or you could be like Terra and hover on a rock and fly through it. Doesn't matter which option you choose, they're both cool. Not to mention, even Slade saw potential in this great power. He only wanted Terra for her powers after all, and eventually he took control of her. And all well you can see. Why, that's why my number 10 power has to be Earth powers. Okay, guys. Thank you, Deep Voice. Are you ready for number 9? What could it possibly be? Time to get your guesses over with. Let's move on to number 9.
I hate this song.
Yes, guys, I had to go with electric powers for my number 9 spot. It's electric powers. You see, when it comes to me, I'm more of a, you either have two choices when you go to fighting. Melee or range. And I'm more of a range fighter than I prefer physical fighting by fists. Because what I lack in strength I make up for in other things. But no, seriously. Not only do you have an advantage with this power in, well, power terms, but you also have it as an advantage as in another way of transportation with Electro uses this power to fly somehow. I'm not sure how most of the characters are able to fly. I mean, even Human Torch has it. Like, he can fly still, even though he has electric powers, fire powers, whatever. So there's a lot of characters who can do multiple things with these elemental powers. And Electro is no exception of his electric powers. But the only problem is, like the Human Torch, is they're a very uncontrollable power. Unless you have complete mastery of the electric ability, you can cause as much destruction as you can control. It's a good challenge for any person to wield, and of course it gives you a shocking blast. I mean, you could say, oh, I can throw something, but when you shoot a blast of energy, it makes you feel that more emphasized and pumped, kind of like a Z fighter in a way. It's like, how many times has a fan wanted to do the Kamehameha? You get the idea. Anyway, but I've got to zap on the Surge with electric powers for my number 9 spot. And moving on. Thank you, Deep Voice. It is time for number 8, guys. What could it possibly be? Well, I hope your guesses are going high on the list, because it's time to count down to my number 8 power. Ooh, so far my powers have been elemental based. Could you catch on what's going on here? We'll see, because it's time to reveal number 8. Yes, guys, my number 8 power would be Invisibility. It's a great power to have. It doesn't require, because it's so unique, it doesn't require physical force to be strong or useful. It actually requires on the user having their whole body covered by a hidden energy sort of thing, like they can't see you at all. Now, when I say this, when you say a power, it's hard to really explain what that power means, kind of like immortality, if you make any sense. So with Invisibility, I say your whole body is covered, including your garments and clothes. Sometimes they don't do that, especially in Halloween movies. But I think you should have all your garments covered, or your clothes that you're wearing. Shadow hidden, maybe, I guess. Depends on you. If you want to make yourself extra protected. Or then again, I feel like it shouldn't be gone, because it gives away. Would a shadow be gone? I don't know. Maybe you could answer that question. Would a shadow be gone if you're invisible? I don't know. But in real honesty, it's a great power to have. You can sneak in anywhere for stealth-wise. You could go anywhere you like in certain other areas, so like the ladies' bathroom or the men's, depending on your gender, if you have any desperation to. You could also play pranks on people with this power, make things confuse confuse people, like, how could you do this without me doing this, when realistically it's that guy. Also, this ability has been in horror films. I mean, not the classic ones, there have been like modern day films, like there's this one movie, I forgot what it was called, but there was this invisible guy, and he unscrewed, there was this racetrack scene, and there was this screwdriver that was in, there was this guy undoing the screw. I think the screwdriver was invisible, I'm not sure how, but the point is that he undid it. He undid the railing on the racetrack, and which caused one of the cars to crash into the railing, and there was a lot of gore after that. And then something so gory happened after that with a truck, and then even more gory in a pool scene. I would tell you more, but basically it just goes to show that even being invisible can be a very deadly power to mess with. And that's why Invisibility has to smack on its list to my number 8 spot. Alright guys, what is number 7? It's time to reveal. Are you ready? I hope you are. It's time to use your brains and put it together, because it's time to reveal my number 7 superpower.
From now on, I am the one who makes the rules. How's it talking?
It's psychic.
Yes.
Psychic power.
That's right, guys. My number 7 power has to be psychic powers. Why? Well, because it's a very versatile power to have. It's hard for me to explain this, because every time I see psychic powers, it's doing something completely new. Sometimes it makes a person levitate, like the Force with levitation powers. That's kind of one power. And then it does more than that with mind control as a way. So in a way, it gives you more than one power in a way. And it's very useful if that's the case. You could sort of link up stuff together. And there's so many potential with this power. And because of its unknown presence, and you don't know what it's capable of, and since most of us don't know the secrets of this hidden power, it really could scare us what it's capable of. And and that's how dangerous psychic powers can be. So that's why it's your perfect psychic power to be with this, and that is why I put psychic powers as my number 7 spot. Could anyone explain to me if they have any idea what they think psychic powers are, maybe? Because it's hard for me to get a clear lock on what psychic powers are. You can't say it's levitation, like it's lifting people in the air, because that's levitation, or like gravitron or something. But then again, you could argue what is the difference between gravity and levitation, but that's a different matter in the same. And then there's the mind control thing, and that's another power entirely. So maybe explain what your thoughts on this power, this confusing power is. But that's my thoughts on my number 7 power, so I'm going to go with psychic powers, just because it gives me 2 powers in 1 for the sake of the package. And that's why I'm putting it there. Alright then, we're moving on. Also here, it also gives you the power to fly, doesn't it? That's another versatile thing, because there's one power that can give you so much capability. Anyway, this has been number 7, so we're going to move on down the list. Alright, it's time for number 6. What do you think it is?
Shh! You will alert them.
Alright, yeah, shadow powers. Shadow powers are damn cool. I mean, you can take any form of these in a way. I mean, not like a physical presence, but more like you can use them as intangibility powers, like to merge through walls and go through anywhere, and sort of shapeshift your shadow into any form. It's kind of a unique power. I believe Dr. Facilier uses it in, like, in the Disney movie. But it's also a very cool power, because it really freaks you out on what you're capable of doing with it. It's kind of like the symbiote in a way, only it's not physical. Just remember, this power has so much potential to scare you shivery, and it could also, like, take you and pull you into portals and transport you to places. Like, it could grab you, like you're right behind a shadow, and it pulls you in, and there's so much potential. Controlling the shadows. I guess Gage chose a good power to have, or a name, because it puts it on this list as a very cool and creepy power. Another mysterious one adding onto the roster. Shadow powers. Okay guys, it's time for number 5. What do you think it is? We're halfway through. What could number 5 possibly be? Well, the answer is... Yes guys, I would have to go with construct powers. Construct powers, if you understand, not the green, like, this isn't really a power, it's just the ring that makes this. Well, it's the energy that it gives off, is what I'm saying. That is a natural power, it's an ability, if that's what I'm trying to say. Because with this ability, it's similar to some of my other powers I've said before. They're similar to this. It's like with the earth powers, or maybe electric powers, like they can construct things in a way. And this is the pure example. You're creating anything that you want in your head. And with that, you have no problem to mastering this power. As long as you have the will, or whatever. I guess it's more than that. No, that's Green Lantern thing. Let's just say it's construct powers based off thought. Boom, that's it. You don't need anything. Unless you have a dumb mind, then you're screwed. But I don't think most humans have a good mind, that is. So, as long as you have that, you can create anything to your heart's content. And with that, the power of this power is limitless in certain extents. Who knows? And there's other ways you could use it as well. You can make a way to go into space, like you build your own spaceship, go into space. Yeah. I'm not going to count flight with this power, just because that's an entirely different power altogether. And if you want to Green Lanterns have that, oh well. But that's because Green Lanterns have the ring, which gives you both flight and the construct powers. But I'm just going to go with the construct powers as just that. So that's all I'm going with. But this has been number 5, and we're moving on close to number 4. Okay, guys, what do you think number 4 is? Well, I think it's time we clicked on right over to put you guys onto number 4. Yes, I'd have to go with Flash's powers, like super speed, come on. How could you beat that? It's one of the greatest powers ever of all time, or one of the most, when it comes to some basic powers, strength, let's say the Incredibles, strength, speed, elasticity, and, well, invisibility. Those are like some basic powers. And it shows how incredible this power is. I mean, if you looked at the clip I showed, it just shows, I wanted to extend that out to show the full potential of what the super speed can do. Not only can it help you transport places really quickly, but it gives you faster reflexes and helps you in combat with the incredible fast punching action. I mean, it's a whole very effective power at once. However, like how powerful it is, it can overcome you and then you will start to fade away and something like that. So you've got to have real control of it. It's another sort of power you need to master. I mean, instead of like the Human Torch where it goes out of control and it destroys everything, this is like it destroys yourself kind of thing. So it's more like you've got to control yourself, otherwise you might lose your grip on someone and then they would probably die by accident. If you're not intending to kill them, you might go so fast you ain't able to control it, or eventually it will wore you out, kind of thing. So super speed zooms all the way to number 4. Okay, guys, we're coming to the bottom of the barrel. Which power do you think is number 3? Well, it's
nearly over, Grundy. Time to lose the mask. Trick or treat. Clayface. Can't blame me for having some Halloween fun. Can you, Bats? Terrorizing the descendants and destroying their homes was your cover, but it was their money you were after. Leave them destitute like the legend says. No one would think of chasing after Grundy for the money. They'd have to dredge Gotham Swamp. And I'd be long gone with my loot, taking any face I wanted, alive, dead, or non-existent. No one could lose a 500 pound zombie that easily. I may not have tricked your bets, but I'm still gonna collect my treats.
okay. It's yes, guys, it is. It's shape-shifting. When I say shape-shifting, I don't mean like Mystique or Morph from the X-Men, because that's just taking the ability of a human, transforming into some other human, or some other character. But with characters like Clayface or Aku, who are shapeshifters, they have a huge advantage, because not only they can morph their body, but they can morph weapons and stuff. And sometimes the abilities of certain other characters, like Solomon Grundy. So, yeah. So, talk about that, you know. Not only do we have a callback to our Halloween season back in season 4 of our series called Who, When and Why with Solomon Grundy. But how about that, eh? I even popped up Clayface just because my power is shapeshifting for number 3. But well, that's it. Shapeshifting is a great power, not to mention all the it's similar to constructs as well, but more in tune to your body. And the fact that no one can harm you with this power is another good thing. So it's another one of those powers that has multiple attachments, and with it puts its spot at number 3 on my big list. So, moving on. Okay, we're down to number 2. It's almost over, guys. I hope you're guessing well on these powers, because we're coming down to number 2 now. What is it? Well, it has to be yes, guys, it has to be absorption powers. They're really good in a way, not like Absorbing Man, because Absorbing Man still has cool powers, but kind of like Kevin 11, where you can absorb any power you want, and it's either two things, it's either two scenarios. You absorb the power of something or a person with power, and it's gone completely, or you've absorbed enough energy that they still have energy left in their body. Either way you look at it, it's really effective that you can copy powers and use them to your own advantage. And I don't think there's any sort of limit to this power. You could keep going on and on forever until you have like all the powers in the world, and then you feel invincible. So it's kind of like the ultimate power, that ultimate power to gain all powers kind of thing. But then again, it's still my number 2 power, and it's not going at the top. Originally it was before, until one power came before to stop it and hold it in its tracks. And And what is that number 1 power? Well, it's about time I began the number 1 reveal. Okay. Yes, guys, what is it? It's time for my final number 1 superpower. Out of all powers, this is my favorite, the best. I'm going to reveal it to you now. The most power I like most of all. Some of you may know what this power is, others of you may not. But it's time to reveal my number 1 superpower. Oh yes, guys, teleportation. Teleportation has got to be my best power ever. Not only you could teleport yourself, just imagine you could teleport anything. Bullets, guns, people's weapons. And like, a thug is holding a gun, either you teleport yourself, or you can teleport the gun, or maybe the actual person who shot it. And if they shoot you, boom, bullet's gone. You can use it to protect yourself, use it to fight against. It's like, you're untouchable, and you can touch everything and kick everyone's ass. One of the most evasive powers ever that could win nearly any fight, even if you're against Superman possibly. If you're the master of teleportation, you can just teleport Superman somewhere far away and weaken him down. Sure, maybe even the planet Krypton, even a black hole, somewhere, wherever your thought goes to, you could put him in. And it'll take him but it'll give him a decent run of his money. Depends where you shove him. Just think of what you can think of. But this has got to be the best power ever. Teleporting yourself, teleporting anything. It's all in a nutshell, guys. But, you know, that's just my opinion, you know. Teleportation, my number 1 superpower. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Put it in the comments below. And please tell me your thoughts on what your favourite superpower is, and what your least favourite superpower is, because that is just as well interesting. Mine has got to be, what could be the lamest power I could think of? Maybe that could be another top 10, for another day perhaps. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, I'm gonna if Garrett's gonna do a reaction for this, more power to him. If he is, maybe he is right now, who knows. But until then, he'll probably do a quick update on Who and Why for you, wherever we are at, you know. But until then, guys, if he does do a reaction, then he probably might, you know. Anyway, till next time, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you did enjoy this type of video. How I did sort of different to my original top 10s. I did more video clips this time around, just to mix it up a bit. Hopefully it all paid off and you liked it. But all that being said, I'm going to give any people on there and my thoughts on it, all good stuff. So thanks for your time, guys. All the best. And until next time, guys, see you guys later.